All right, welcome back. We begin with our tweet of the night. This comes from Alex Wood, Major League Baseball pitcher, and he says this: the last 24 hours, I'd say there was cautious optimism on the player side because the owners were actually at the table negotiating with us toward a deal. What we're asking for is more than fair. If there's no deal, the optimism from MLB was a PR illusion to make it look like they tried. And Andrew, I think a lot of people believe that. I think it's an illusion. They had all of this time leading up to this day to get it done ahead of time, and they didn't want to negotiate at all. It took them forever to come up with even an offer. And now all of a sudden, they're out there, chest, pushed forward, talking about we've done everything we can, we want this to happen. I don't believe it at all. I think they are very, very disingenuous with how they handle business.
Well, I think the owners feel like the way for them to get the best deal possible is to make the players sweat, and that's by taking away their game checks. So that's why there's no push to get a deal done, to find middle ground, to find compromise, because the owners think the best way to get the players to give in is to deprive them of money, that'll break rank, that'll get players pitted against each other, and they're willing to sacrifice some games in April and possibly May to make that happen. They think that's a good cost-benefit analysis exercise. We'll take away games early in the year to get what we want, because there's no good faith negotiating here. These owners and players both want a deal that they win, not a fair deal, not a deal in the middle. The players want to be able to say they won the deal. The owners want to be able to say that they won the deal. And when you go into it with that mindset, Bob, that's how nothing good comes out of it. And the only real losers in this are baseball fans in places like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And the other thing is, they will hit the players hard where it counts the most in paychecks, and they'll crumble like they typically will do, I think, at times. But at the end of the day, Major League Baseball wants 14 teams in their playoff. They know most of their television money comes from playoff baseball. So, if I'm the players, then I'm going to.
And what do you make of that, Bob? Give me your take on that one. You like those big expanded playoffs?
I do. Do you? I don't mind it. I've seen it in other sports, and I liked it. I liked it in the NFL season, didn't you?
I did. I'm not going to lie to you. I love the NFL playoffs. The only thing about it is that baseball is such a much longer season, 162 games. We're going to continue to reward teams that are very much mediocre. You play for 6 months, you win, one or two more games than you lose, and now you're going to go into the playoffs.
I honestly don't think it's about that. I think it's about money. I think it's about more games.
I agree. They're not trying to come up with the fairest way to crown a champion.
Right.
They're trying to get the most money out of it. But what I'm saying is, with that, if you were the Pirates, and you knew all you needed to do really was to build a 500 team, would you spend money to do it?
My answer is always going to be yes, because I want to spend.
No, but I'm saying if you're them, knowing their mindset, do you think that this incentivizes them to spend more money?
Yeah, I hope it would, but probably not.
Okay.
But bottom line is I like 14 teams. I don't mind more. I'm getting to the point now where I put more emphasis on postseason in all sports, and I kind of like that situation. We got a lot of baseball calls here tonight. We haven't had hardly any over the past how many months leading up to this. Michael in Franklin is first tonight. What's up, Michael?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
We're good, thanks.
Hey,
I just want to say baseball was the first love of my life. That's the sport I chose to play and everything, and it's just so frustrating. I'm a Pirates fan, but I'm also a baseball fan, and I really enjoy watching just all kinds of baseball, college, whatever. But it's getting real frustrating. There's no parity anymore, and it's just like, other sports you watch, football and stuff, there's parity there. Bengals made the Super Bowl this year. Who would have thought that,
And they went from worst to first. And that's the thing. It allows for that if you do the right thing. And I guess, Andrew, thanks, Michael, for the call. That would be the way I would look at all of this. Make it even so that you're judged on your moves. You talk about football teams, there's cap money, there's decisions need to be made. You should be rewarded on if you make good moves. Like a lot of teams have done. The Rams have done it unconventionally, but they've made good moves. And it has nothing to do with money.
I think that they're always going to regret what they did with Blake Snell in the World Series when they took him out early, talking about the Rays against the Dodgers. That's one where organizationally they dropped the ball. But my opinion, what the Rays have done in the last 3 years is actually more impressive than what the Lightning or Buccaneers have done down there, because they're not playing with a full deck of cards. I mean, they're not playing with a full hand. You know, the Lightning and the Bucks are operating in sports where if you make the right moves, you're going to get rewarded. That's not true in baseball. So, you know, for Tampa Bay to have sustained success when they're 29th or 30th in payroll almost every year, I think is actually more impressive than teams winning championships in level, even playing field sports. They honestly might be the most impressive organization. Their front office, Bob, they might be the best in baseball.
I agree.
In terms of bang for your buck, in terms of all sports, bang for your buck, return on investment.
But it's one team, and you don't see many others do it.
I agree, they're an outlier.
And you're also, just like you said, Andrew, you're going over many sports to find this example, and you're right. It's been terrific. They deserve a lot of credit. But I think it's unsustainable. Now, we'll find out if it is. They've done it for many years. I get it. But I want to see longer term just how long they can continue. Once the prospect pool dries up a bit. They've been hitting on a lot of things, and they're smart about how they handle business. Let's go to Fred in North Huntington. Fred, what's up?
Hi, Fred.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for taking my call. Hi to Andrew also. You guys do a great job.
Appreciate it.
I have a question and a comment. My question is, do you see this the season possibly being tanked as far as baseball, Bob? Both these sides are hard-headed, and this thing could go on a lot longer than I think people really realize. And my comment is, I've had enough of Jeff Capel with Pitt, Bob. The basketball team is mediocre at best. I don't see them going anywhere with him anymore, and I just think they need a change.
That's an interesting topic because tonight we didn't bring this up, but Andrew, Coach K and Krzyzewski came in here, final game, won by 30, and it was never really close. I mean, Duke came out and took it to them early. Pitt, save those 3 games in a row that they won, they have been blown out of just about every game. It's not a good look, and I don't know what the answer there is.
Well, they don't have a solution because Capel's sticking around, given the buyout situation. So he's going to have one more year, I think, to get this right. Next year is do or die for Jeff Capel. My opinion, that buyout comes way down. He's going to have to, I think, field the team that is, you know, worst case scenario, an NIT team. I think another season where he's at the bottom of the ACC and they're going to move on to somebody else. It's a shame because I really thought when they got him, Bob, you know, he was going to be able to convince some kids, not 5-star players, but he was going to be able to sell kids on Pitt. And the ones that he's done that with have either not panned out or they've left for other opportunities.
Yeah, I agree. And it's time. Now you have a transfer portal that can, you know, they brought in Mohamed Ugi. He's been very good for them, and others. They need to do that and fix it quickly because otherwise I think you're right. That buyout goes down. It makes it a little easier to get rid of coaches at that point. One tweet before we go to break. This is from Joe Meyer, who hits us up and he says, Pirates are a small market, but how much is Nutting worth? How much does he want to make? Interesting question. Andrew, we'll talk about that when we come back. We're up against the break. We'll take it right here. It's the Island Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Pittsburgh CW at 93.7 The Fan.